So Bitcoin's holding the 70K level while the market basically is holding its breath. We've got Nvidia earnings tonight, which is huge, not just for the crypto market, but also for the S&P. And then we've got this ETH ETF hanging over us. Are they going to approve this thing or not tomorrow? What is going to happen? So we've got huge volatility incoming. And today we're really focusing on this Nvidia thing because there could be a couple of scenarios here. And I've seen these AI tokens are starting to move. So we're going to take a look at a selection of these AI tokens. Then I've got a couple of banger setups for you guys, and then who authorized this 14% WIF pump and this major trend break on WIF. So we're going to take a look at that as well. We got lots to cover here, and I've also got the legend in the back from the Sniper Club, so maybe he's got something for you guys. Let's get right into this. So look at this, just jumping out of nowhere, WIF. I mean, we thought it was ETH season. All of a sudden, WIF is now 15% up and breaking trends. And look at Pepe, 8%. That's been an absolute banger. Did I jump out a little bit too early yesterday? And well, we're going to have to see how that's going to play out. And then a little bit of red, as expected on some of these ETH plays. Lido's down, OP's down, Arbitrum's down. They're moving now to those zones that I gave you guys yesterday, the 382s, the 618. So if you watched yesterday's show, make sure you have those marked on your charts and you are ready to go when they start hitting those big zones. So we'll cover those tomorrow. But today it's all about Nvidia and things like that. Where are we on Bitcoin? And right now, as you can see, we are holding 70K and we are holding the 382 fib. Again, it's magic. It's science that it always just respects these areas. And once you understand the power of these fibs, you could start looking for longs. You can start looking for scalps in these type of areas. And I've done exactly that. I'm running a Bitcoin long right now in Prime XBT off that 382 zone. So you can see here, I'm 1.25 Bitcoin long at the moment and just floating around. We see a little trend break on the 15 minutes too. So we'll pay attention to this thing, but there could be a little move here. So the scalpers who are trading 15-minute candles, you can see what's going on here. We've got a little trend break. Is there a potential Bitcoin pump coming here in the next while? So we'll watch that closely. If you want to trade on Prime XBT with me, you know what to do. The link is in the description. And right now, what are we looking at here? So big level that we're watching, 69, anything down to say 69,600 we can pay attention to. You can see we've got some nice horizontals here on this 382 zone as well. So we can pay attention to that. A little bit lower down, we got the 618, 68,200. That's a nice little area for us. In fact, anything down, we can push it a little bit lower, down to even 67,700. So anywhere in this region. And I'll tell you why. We've got some horizontals a little bit lower down there as well. So watch that. Nice little pullback zone. And then we've got the big dog here, 66K. And that's trend horizontals looking good. So these are my big levels that I'm watching now on Bitcoin pullbacks. And remember, after we get a nice little pump, then you often consolidate and you start a little downtrend. And we've always got to watch these power zones, these big reaction zones for when we eventually get this nice little move on Bitcoin. So pay attention to these big areas. These are your big reaction zones that you are going to be watching. Now, guys, if you are enjoying the content, hit the like button for me, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell notification. And you can see Ray is not here. I've got new Ray in the back here today. I got the legend. Ray's still getting his hair done or whatever's going on there yesterday. So hit that like button. Make Uncle Ray proud for us. Let's see. Happy Bitcoin Pizza Day, for those of you who know what this is. And basically this guy, I mean, I'm sure you've heard this story 1,000 times, but this man spent 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas in 2010. I don't know, what would you have done if you had 10,000 Bitcoin in 2010? I mean, would you have known? You would have probably flipped your Bitcoin at about when it was $1,000 or something like that. And I mean, it's difficult to imagine holding for that long, but I mean, what an absolute legend. The $700 million pizza sent that one. You know, what would you do? I think I would have closed by now. Okay, liquidity continues to flow into the market. This is TED Talks Macro, and things are looking good. As you can see, we know with all the news, you've seen it in the charts, everything is pumping and everything is looking good. So from that front, things are looking hot in the market. And then And then Trump campaign is now accepting donations in crypto, including Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana. Who would have thought? Us ETH bros and all us guys streaming, doing all these YouTube situations here are involved in, basically, we're now involved in the US elections. I mean, it's absolutely unreal that, they're fighting now over control of the crypto voters. And we can see Biden getting a little bit softer here on some of his crypto stances as well. So definitely interesting times and interesting things playing out. And again, leads us into our narrative with all these meme tokens. So don't stop watching these presidential election meme tokens. They could definitely start playing out in the next few months. And Watcher Guru says U.S. Senator Cynthia Lummis says there's a bipartisan majority in both chambers of Congress in favor of crypto. Okay, the future is very bright. And you can see the Matic guys here, Polygon, putting a little celebratory dance there. I don't think there's anything on this planet that can pump Matic right now, but maybe I'm mistaken. Let's see if that plays out for us. Okay, James Seafart, and just an update here on yesterday. We noticed there were some of these things flowing through, and this is the ETH ETF. Basically the admin taking place here, and he's saying we have at least 5 of the potential ETH ETF issuers have submitted their amended 19B4s. Okay, so the stuff is flowing, things are happening here, and we're leading into this approval, but anything can happen. If you look back and you remember what happened with BTC, we had a couple of fake tweets leading into it, and we had a dump and we had a pump, and it was an absolute mess. So just be prepared for a little bit of bad news coming in. And another tick on the box here, we've got Van Eck spot ETF ETH ETF has been listed on the DTCC. Okay, so admin is happening here. Things are starting to flow, and people are starting to get a little bit excited. And this was the last time we saw something like this. This was in October 24th. And Look On Chain was talking about the same thing when the BTC got their ticker on the chart, and we saw BTC on the daily then started pumping. If we go back to October 24th, 2023, that takes us roundabout to these lows over here, and that sort of triggered this nice little rise for BTC. So maybe this is now the start of a nice massive ETH move, regardless of what happens tomorrow. Let's see how that is going to play out for us. But definitely exciting times here for us. Let's just take a look at this daily chart and make sure we are all on the same page in the bigger picture or the grand scheme of things. And you can see all is well. If you are trading Bitcoin spot and you are zoomed out, you're looking on the dailies, and there's nothing for you to really worry about. We've got a nice rising trend at the moment. Everything is cruising up. As long as we're holding this rising trend, we are bullish, we are happy. And anything down to this region here, 67, even a push into the 66s, anywhere in that region is bullish for us. And look, it's going to feel a bit of pain on the chart. The leverage traders are going to feel that pain. But if you're trading spot BTC, it makes absolutely no difference to you. That's a nice little bullish zone, and that's where you are looking for your next big buys, and where you want to send that thing. And we only turn bearish once we start losing that trend. Then perhaps we are looking at things a little bit lower. But right now, all systems go, and it's pump time, and until proven otherwise. So another key one that you can watch is dominance, and this was absolute perfection. And I brought this one to your attention yesterday. We were watching this dominance dump, and we saw this massive ETH move and all these things happening, and the altcoins were pumping while dominance was dumping. And what did it bounce off? It bounced off the major rising weekly trend. This was always going to be a support area. This was always going to be an area where you were going to get a reaction on dominance. And you would have noticed today we had a little bit of volatility in some of these altcoins with this bounce. So right now, for dominance, keep your eyes on this 54.3%. If we start losing this 54.3%, we could be opening some floodgates here for some massive moves. And maybe it's going to be triggered by AI tonight. Maybe it's going to be triggered by ETH tomorrow with some kind of approval. Let's just zoom out on the weekly. I just want to give you this perspective again as to where we are. Here's this rising trend. You can see it's a massive trend from where did we pull this thing? From January 2023. That is where this trend line started. And bigger picture, you can see what's going on here. That huge move you saw on the 4-hour, in the grand scheme of things, it's a drop in the ocean of what we could expect to see here if we lose this major weekly trend and we start pushing down to this 49%er. This would be a mega alt rally. So brace yourselves in case we start losing this trend. And yeah, things could get pretty spicy there on some of the altcoins. I see Ray. Ray has made an appearance. Are you still in the hair salon there, bro? What's going on? Looks like he's traveling, something like that. Okay, ETH is looking good. So basically, ETH has now held our levels that we gave you yesterday. 3.7 was our target zone. 3.7 was our area of interest if we got little pullbacks, and we just sweated it a little bit under. But you can see so far so good. Our horizontals are playing out, and if you are playing these horizontal areas, then you are good. For now, remember the danger on ETH comes if they want to send it under this 3.7 level. When we start taking out this candle, then we could start visiting some very interesting areas here. So 3.5 for me on ETH is a potential zone. Let's not discount that. If we get some volatility, maybe they're going to just wick us down to that area. Do you have a stink bid ready? Do you have a limit order set there at around about 3.5 in case they just wick us down into that zone? And then another banger zone here for you guys. 3.380, 3.350, another zone where you can maybe get a little wick here on ETH if there's a little bit of volatility. Maybe it's a wise decision there to get a little limit order there in those zones, just in case you get that opportunity. It could be a guard mode entry there for you guys if they do send it down. And now ETH BTC. And this has just played out absolutely to perfection. And the 618 delivered one more time. So this is ETH BTC on the weekly. What is this telling me? It's ETH versus Bitcoin strength. And it's been bleeding out, being weak against Bitcoin for the last long time. When was this? September 22. It's been on an absolute downtrend. And we spoke about this 618 many times as a potential bounce zone for ETH versus BTC. And boy, did this thing bounce. And now we are basically blowing through weekly horizontals here. We are blowing through the 50-day MA, and we are testing the 200-day moving average. So there could be some action here with ETH. But what we want to see now on ETH versus BTC is a clean break of this trend. We really want to push this thing hard, and then we want to hold this 200-day MA. And if that happens, obviously, we're going to see this dominance lose this trend, and we're going to see things absolutely start firing. So that is what we're watching right now on the ETH BTC situation. And just another interesting point, there's a bullish divergence here playing out. You can see what's going on here. We've got the price moving lower, and we've got the oscillator moving higher, and that often tells us that we are going to get a potentially big move. Now, is that the start of the move? Is this the beginning of something a lot bigger? So right now, let's deal with that trend in front of us. When we blow that trend, then we can start getting extra excited on the current situation. Then another interesting one, we were saying it's ETH season. Everyone's forgetting about Solana. So let's look at Solana versus ETH. This is a great comparison as well. And you can see every time we've had some SOL strength versus ETH, we've had a rejection in this region, this 59 region. Look at this. Every time we go there, they tend to reject us. So pretty nice chart here to pay attention to. Whenever we get SOL strength, you can look for your rejection zones. But what is very interesting to me is there's a potential bounce zone coming here for SOL versus ETH. So if we start drifting in this zone and we start reacting in this area, maybe this is an opportunity then to start rotating a little bit back into Solana if you have now aped into ETH, potentially. But remember, if ETH starts absolutely ripping and the market forgets about things, we might be losing this trend. And then we might be looking at our next potential horizontal. So interesting things to note here. We do have a big trend. We do have a bounce zone here for SOL versus ETH. So pay attention at this 0.045. Could be an interesting dynamic at play here between the two. Maybe they're just going to pump together if the market starts moving. We'll have to see how that is going to play out. And then SOL versus USD, just your standard SOL pair, and all is well on Solana. And in fact, looking a lot like this BTC chart at the moment. We've got a nice confirmed rising trend and nothing to worry about here. SOL is looking great. And our big support zones for Solana, 172, you want to watch that one, and anything down to 160. Those are your main SOL zones. Keep your eyes on these areas. Any moves into these zones, you could look to start adding. And as long as we're holding this rising trend, we are good on Solana. And I would say the market in general then is relatively bullish, and things are well. Sure. I sped through that one, guys. Wait, there's a sound issue there, bro. Right. Let's see. People in the chats. I see you guys are throwing Hemiel at me. What else have we got? Aaron says, love to the banter fam. And 𝗕𝗓𝗕𝗓𝗓 says, Lord of likes on the move. Ray is definitely on the move. Let's see, guys. So are you ready for this potential AI pump? Let's just see. I've been running a poll in the chats here, and I just want to see what you guys are saying. And okay, so 25% of you are calling the dump is priced in Nvidia, and 75% are saying it's going to pump after earnings. Now, yeah, things are very spicy and very interesting today with what is coming. So it's a tricky one. If Nvidia earnings come out flat, is the market going to be disappointed? Are things like render going to start falling over and melting down? Because then, yes, it is technically priced in. But if Nvidia come out and they start surprising and they beat estimates and things like this, I think we're going to just see a general market move here in the S&P. We're going to see these AI tokens absolutely explode. But 75% of you are confident in the current situation. So we'll pay attention to that. Right. Nvidia earnings, why is this such a big day? So you can read the 𝗕𝗫𝗙𝗕 letter. They tweeted about it here earlier today, but they expected to report $24.5 billion in revenue. Okay, this is 1,000% increase in 5 years. Okay, so 5 years ago they printed $2.2 billion. Okay, and these guys are just churning and churning and churning, and they have become a massive player on the S&P, where 5 years ago they were just some small fish in the pond, and now they are basically, their results are basically determining what is happening here with the market. So definitely interesting play, and the Nvidia chart is teeing up for a massive move here. So, and again, a massive move either way. So we saw the exact same result or exact same scenario when the S&P was teeing up leading into the CPI earnings. Now remember, the CPI, and not CPI earnings, the CPI data. And the CPI data is basically an earnings result for the S&P if you compare it to something like Nvidia. And we are pushing into a mega resistance zone here at all-time highs. And the S&P was in the exact same situation. So are these earnings going to surprise, and are we going to blow higher? Or are they just going to send us straight back down? So what I can say to you is the best play here is to probably play safe. If you are loading up shorts here, even though you're at resistance, you are probably taking chances. And if you are loading up longs into resistance, you are probably taking up chances, because this thing could be absolutely volatile. So just exercise serious caution here. Anything can happen with this thing. And, a lot of guys will say, okay, well, here's a triple top and this thing's coming straight back down. Bruce, what are you feeling here? What are you thinking about this?
I'm pretty excited. I mean, just given the last couple of days, I've seen a lot of good setups.
But this Nvidia situation, we're pushing into all-time highs. Yeah, are they teeing us up for a surprise?
I have honestly no clue. The news comes out and then things pump. The news comes out and then things dump. But I'm pretty excited about AI in general, because I'm watching the integration of AI into other things, which is its value. So for a long-term play, you can't lose. I don't think you can lose.
Long-term.
But for a short-term pump, you got to wait for it to break through that resistance level, or wait for it to pull back, one or the other.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing about these earnings. They're coming out after hours. So, if you position yourself long and the earnings are bad, you're going to end up, you're getting your stop. I mean, this thing's going to open below. It's probably going to gap down. And if you are trying to short, this thing's probably going to gap up tomorrow. So just be very careful with whatever game you are playing there. Don crypto trades. And obviously, this is what we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks. It's been Nvidia. And he's saying the strongest crypto sector today is AI. And no surprises here leading into Nvidia. So ETH led the charge for a couple of days, but AI is back and overperforming today. And Zeno, nice little tweet. And he's basically said to us 7 simple reasons to have more render. Okay, so you can read what this man has to say about it. But, point number 7 here, he's saying Nvidia earnings this week could spotlight AI and GPU usage trends. Okay, that's very important, and potentially boosting interest in the render network. So this guy is super bullish on the current render situation. And those of you that have been watching me, you can see I've been positioning myself over the last week or so with these AI plays. So I've got 𝗕𝗤𝗕𝗏 that's running at the moment long, positioning myself for this move. I've got GRT that I gave you guys the other day, positioned for the move. And I've got render here as well, teed up at the moment, also positioned for a move. Obviously, this is a bullish move that I've positioned myself for. So if I'm wrong, these things are going to reverse quite quickly, and I'm going to get absolutely smashed out here. So we're going to have to see how this plays out. But we'll know. We'll know in a couple of hours if these trades are going to be cooking for me or not, and we'll just keep watching. So you can see already today, render has been pretty volatile. This is render on the 1 hour that I've knocked up for you guys. So if you're looking for a scalp here, what you need to do is be super careful. So number one, you can see what they've done today. They've pumped us up and they've ripped us back down. So again, they're playing games with the leverage traders. You long, you short, you're getting flushed out all over these places. So your best bet now is to make sure you focus on your huge areas and your lows and your highs that are clear and quite. I mean, you don't want to be zoomed in on 15 minutes, put it that way. But you can see today's dump low, for example, 11. Okay, if you are long render now, 11 could be a great support marker for you if you are trying to trade into this Nvidia news. Okay, 11 is zone number 1 that I would pay attention to. Number 2, you can see we're breaking through these horizontals here at 11.24. So if you are a degen scalper, okay, who's running super tight stops, 11.24, 11.23 could be an area here that you could play with right now as a potential support band that you could watch. And, if we move on to that zone, you want to see it hold this 11.24 level. And let's see if it starts taking off from this region. And then your resistance zones that you need to pay attention to, where can you reject? 11.4. Okay, that's zone number 1, and 11.6. These are 2 hot zones that are in your way. But then after that, we could get quite a big move here out of render. So look out. Let's just mark our all-time highs here, and that is round about 13.8 that we could be approaching tonight, depending on the size of this or the size of the surprise. Put it that way. So number 1, if this render thing blows, it's going to be on the back of very bullish Nvidia talk. There's a press conference later as well, and some very bullish earnings results. So 13.8 is potentially locked in here for us if this is going to blow. What you need to do on this time frame, on the 12-hour, you can see your big horizontal here. So once this kicks through, okay, so if we get a big pump through this region, this is going to be your new support marker, 11.5. Okay, that's going to be your base that you're going to play with, and then you're going to be looking for this move into this region over the next, say, 24 hours or so, depending on what happens now. And then obviously the ETF tomorrow is also going to play its part in the current crypto situation. So look for this big break of these horizontals. Then you're going to open up this 13.8. And key supports, let's just confirm key supports for you guys. Let's say this thing turns bearish, and you don't want to be caught in a situation now where you are bleeding out and things like that, and you're not sure where I must exit, where I must buy. So watch your big zone. So it's 11, and then a little bit lower down, watch 10.9, okay? And then a little bit lower down is a big one. It's your 618 fib, 10.5. These are all your key areas. These are your big zones. If you are getting bled out, you don't want to panic until you start losing this sort of 382 region, okay? If you lose that 382 region, then maybe you start looking to cut. And the same as if you're sitting in the 618. If you start losing that 618 region, then you are potentially looking to cut. So make sure your stops and things are under these big zones, because often you get some nice bounces in these areas. Right. What else is going on here? What else is going on? Where's my people? Where's my people? Where's my people? Ray, what are you doing, bro? Are you in the hair salon there? We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Can't hear you, bro. Ray will come back. Bring Ray back. Bring Ray back. Okay, let's go. I see there's comments on Near. That's a great AI play as well. I've got a mixed bag here for you. Number 1 is Tower. Okay, 𝗕𝗘𝗙. I've been talking about this one for a couple of days. This is the daily chart for you guys, and major support now, 416. Why is 416 major support? It's the 200-day moving average here for me as my marker. So 416 region number 1 that you can pay attention to if you are long right now. And then a little bit lower down, you've got 400. So 2 banger zones here for you on 𝗕𝗘𝗙. If you're sitting in positions here, those are your solid zones. These are your big areas. And, little wicks down, they should bounce off these zones. If there's bigger market moves down, then they might start losing these areas. So that's why these are great stop loss zones for you under this 200-day MA. So anything under 416, or if you want to sweat it out a bit lower, anything under about 400, you can look to start cutting this one. But a great start here on Tower. Look at this. We've finally broken this daily trend, and things are looking decent. So if we do get a push, look out for this move into the 50-day moving average. Look out for something along those lines. Look out for that little rejection. You want to hold that support, and then we're going to look for something a little bit bigger. Now, again, this will play out perfectly if we get some bullish Nvidia earnings today. This could really tee you up for a bigger move now. Nice to see a trend break on a daily like this. This often gives us a nice sized move that's going to play out. Okay, AIOZ, another lovely AI token here for you guys, and putting pressure on this horizontal resistance band. So this isn't this isn't a render, for example, but this has given decent moves over the last while. There's good trades available on this AIOZ, and we've seen this. We traded this one on my show. I think this was a couple of weeks back, but we were watching this 382 and 50-day MA, and lookouts just respected these range lows every single time. So what I would suggest here, if you're sitting in AIOZ, here's your main support. Number one, 0.77. Watch this region here, 0.77. I love the look of that area. And then this is also starting to look very spicy to me now. If we can get a little AIOZ push here through this region now and confirm support at 0.876, then I think we're going to get a nice big move on AIOZ. Let's look at a potential setup here. If you want to try and tee this one up, you want to get your stop sort of under this current 8-hour candle. So that would be 0.833. And then you want to look for a push into the potential highs here at 1.04. So there is a potential move coming here on AIOZ. We have printed a new high, and it's currently retesting. So we've pushed it up. We're busy retesting now at the moment, and maybe there's something on offer here for you. You don't want to hang around too much longer. If you lose that 8-hour candle low, maybe it's time to start cutting a little bit of this AIOZ, and then look out for this big support here, 0.76. That's your nice big juicy support zone lower down. And Diablo says he faded AIOZ spot at 190 million market cap. Who else has got horror stories like the pizza man? my worst story has got to be, or one of my worst has got to be this WIF situation. WIF is now a $3 billion market cap. I faded this thing at $2 million market cap. It's got to be the biggest burn in history. Is that your biggest burn, Bruce?
I don't believe it. I mean, how the hell did that happen, right?
I was told to buy this thing. I was like, nah, I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what you mean nowadays is people go, hey, buy this. I go, okay.
Yeah, I just say
you never know which one's going to go.
Just buy them. Just buy them. You buy 5, one of them pops, the others get rinsed, and then you're good. So I'm digressing a little bit here. We're going to cover some more AI, but this WIF situation. I mean, I don't know who authorized a massive move on WIF, but it's now breaking trend on the 12-hour and on the daily. So this is looking pretty bullish at the moment. It's a great start. And if you are trading WIF, I just want to give you some support that you can work with here. We've got a massive area now that we have blown through, the 50-day MA, the trend, and the 382 fib. So if you are long WIF, your main support is $3. That's where you are now. So you can sit on this thing. Any pullbacks into the zone, this is your support. You don't have to worry. That's where you want to be buying anything into that area there. And if you are in that trade, no reason to do anything until we start losing this 3 level, 2.9 level, and this thing should start making its way up. Let's look at potential targets for you on WIF. Let's just highlight a couple of horizontals here that could come into play. So always look for your reaction zones, look for your rejection areas, and here's a nice little juicy zone here as well. And so right now 3.36 and 3.56, both of them look like interesting zones here. Both of them look like interesting reaction areas on WIF. So let it do its thing. Make sure this thing wants to hold 3 or 2.9. If we're holding that, then we've got that trend retest confirmed, and then we are looking for a nice push up. And there could be some interesting plays coming in the next couple of days. So just watch that as your key support. Remember, if we get bad news tonight, market might sneeze. If we get bad news tomorrow, market might also sneeze, and it might be quite a big sneeze. And just make sure your stops are nice and tight in your good areas under your solid support regions there. Let's see what else. Trobia says he paid a $17,900 pizza. Let's see what he says. He misses clothing every time, bro. I don't know what's this guy talking about. What's he talking about here? What else we got? Brian is talking about Myro. I saw Matt from our office was trading Myro today. That thing was also looking pretty good. And Cameron says OP has started to move. So yeah, OP hopefully has fallen into our 382, our 618 that I gave you guys yesterday. And Calvin says his horror story comes from Celestia. I think this man also has a Celestia horror story to share with you guys. Okay, let's go back into our AI, and I've got another one for you. Fetch also starting to break a horizontal now on this bullish, on this potentially bullish move into Nvidia earnings. So Fetch is looking okay at the moment, and right now we've got our support markers in play. If you are sitting in a Fetch position, what you can do is you can have your stop under this current daily candle. That's 2.47. And your first target is going to be this horizontal at 2.85. That is your first potential pump zone. Okay, this is bullish Nvidia. Look out for fetch at about 2.85, 2.84, anywhere in that region there. That could be bullish zone number one. Bearish Nvidia, how do you treat this? What do you do? Well, you need to watch your key areas. You know, if we start melting down, where's your next area? 2.37. That's a big zone for you. Where's your next one? 2.22. That's another big area for you. So right now, good start. Fetch has broken this major horizontal on the daily. 2.47 could be your support marker that you can play with. If things turn bullish tonight, and we're talking a couple of hours away, I think we're probably 4 hours away from these results. Let's see. And I'm saying tonight, for you in the US, it's the middle of the day for you guys. But if we get a nice result here, we're pumping up higher. And if things sneeze, okay, we might get a retracement on some of these AI tokens. But remember, tomorrow we've got the ETF news. So then we might get a pump off some of these levels as well, leading into that. So a lot of dynamics today that we need to pay attention to. I am still trading fetch at the moment on weeks, and these are my current trades. So I've got CAS running here, and I've got fetch. You can see fetch. I've raised my average entry now on fetch to 2.24, and let me just show you what that looks like. Let's just highlight this one on the chart. 2.24 is just above the 618. So I've kind of catered for a move down to this 50-day moving average. And, let's see how it plays out. If we push that 50-day moving average at 2.29, I'm looking for a bounce there on fetch. Let's see how that goes. My entry is just below that. Don't really want to melt it down lower than that and do a full round trip. That would be a proper horror story there. So let's see how it goes. But I'm going to TP fetch at this 2.8 level if we do get some kind of nice pump today. And then I've got CAS as well. So this CAS trade is progressing well. And I saw Sheldon was also trading it on his show today. So this CAS has been a nice little mover for everybody who's been involved in this thing. And my average entry now on CAS, I've also brought that one up a little bit. My average entry is 0.1177 at the moment. So that is just under the 200-day MA and the 50-day MA. So it's just under this major zone here for the 618. So I'm quite comfortable with the support that I've got there at the moment. And then you can see CAS traders, there's a TP zone incoming here for you, 0.146. You can see that's an obvious zone of interest. And what is nice about this is similar to this fetch trade that I've just shown you. We're blowing through horizontals. So once this gets a bit of traction, we want to just push it to our next big horizontal zone, and we can mark this current area down as support. So for me, main support here on CAS, 0.13. Watch that area. Then lower down, we got the big dog here, 0.122. Now that's basically a wall of a 618 horizontals moving averages. We know that is a strong zone there for us for CAS. So watch these areas, TP zone incoming. And remember, if you want to trade on weeks with me, you can jump into the show description and take advantage. They've got a limited offer for you guys. Time is running out. Links is here. 1, 2, 3, fourth from the top. Click on links, click on weeks. They are giving you a 20% deposit bonus for signing up to that exchange. It's a limited offer for using this exchange. It's KYC friendly. They are making changes here every single day on that exchange. They are improving it, and it's growing very fast. It's not going to be around. This offer is not going to be around for too long. So take advantage of that 20% sign up bonus and get trading on weeks with me. And let's grow on this exchange together here. They've got some great deals on offer for you guys. Right. Another banger that is of interest to me. So we've covered our AI, and another notable, obviously, there's a lot of talk here about Phantom and Sonic and all the news around it at the moment. And Phantom is in bounce zone number 1. Okay, so this was an area I marked for you guys a couple of days ago. So we are in our first reaction zone, 0.84. This is a potential area of interest for you for Phantom traders. If you want to build a position here, this is your first area that you can start looking, 0.84. And then we've got the big zone here at 0.76. A nice little area lower down. You can see that's my higher conviction zone here. You can see I've got nice horizontals as well, 50-day moving average and 618. So if you're interested in building a Phantom position, this is zone number 1, area of interest, where you can start building. And then you want to be adding a little bit lower down here at 0.76. Alternatively, if you are scalping, you can look for a stop under the current candle that you see it at 0.832, and you can see why this is a reaction zone. It's our 382 tied in with some horizontals there, potential bounce incoming here. Right, I see. Oh, Crypto Banter says, don't forget to follow Dylan on X. Yes, guys, follow me on Twitter at the Lord of Entry. Don't forget, I'm posting tons of alpha there for you guys daily. And make sure you like and you retweet all those things going on there for you guys. Right, another one I've got here is AVAX. This is such a banger entry. I had to bring this to you guys. And if there's a little bit of weakness here on AVAX, I really want you to put your alarms on your charts. Look at this thing. I've got a level here for you at 37.5. Okay, why do I like this thing? It's a 382 fib. It's the 50-day moving average. It's daily levels, horizontals, and it's the 200-day MA pushing up at 37. So we know this is a huge zone for AVAX. So AVAX, if we get a little bleed out now in the market, put this alarm on and look for this region. I think this is going to be an absolute banger zone for a bounce here. AVAX 37.5. Watch that area. Bruce, doesn't this make you excited?
This is great time. I've got a trade that's almost ready right now. If these guys are ready.
Hold on. Okay. Guys, okay, Likeage. Ray is in the back. His sound is not working. There we go. You look like you're in an airport or something. Okay, Bruce has got a trade that's almost ready right now. Ray, give us, what do we need? We need 700 likes. Okay, 700 likes. Bruce is going to give you his trade that's almost ready right now. If it's looking great, we're going to take it together. And if it's on weeks, we'll open it up. So get him ready there, Ray. Let us know what the Likeage situation is. Let's see. Dylan on that DHI flex, decentralized hydration. What is going on there? Okay, GALA. Who took GALA yesterday? I took GALA. This was an absolute banger. Remember the rules. If you get a hack and the project is fundamentally still okay, that's normally an opportunity for you. And whoever grabbed or jumped onto this opportunity now is cooking. So GALA eventually did break that trend for us. I gave you guys this trade yesterday, and it looks pretty strong at the moment. And the first target in play for GALA traders, you are coming at the moment at 0.52. So keep your eyes on GALA. You can see it's trying to reclaim this 50-day moving average right now. And, so far, so good. So nice little push today. The hacker paid the money back, as it turned out. DWF Labs market bought some tokens, and there was some kind of proposal coming out of GALA as well with regards to the hack tokens, like burning them or something along those lines. And that's obviously pretty bullish for any project. And, the market has responded well to this. And imagine what happens when the gaming narrative starts picking up again. We know GALA is an old dust coin gaming token, but we know people from the last bull run will remember gaming tokens like GALA, and that's the first thing they're going to come in and start buying. They don't know what Beam is. They don't know what is the other one, Dubs. They don't know what Prime is, all these types of things. These are all new projects. And they're going to come in and start aping into things like GALA. So keep your eyes on this GALA. But a good start. We've broken a nice little trend here, and things are looking pretty decent. So 50-day MA is now something we just need to tackle and get over, and then we are going to be good there. I see, let's see, who was shouting render at me? Jamie says, render. Just saying. Look, guys, you got to go. AI tokens, you got to go render. You got to go fetch. You got to go ocean. You got to go things like near as well. And let's see, Rolf says, Rune was perfect at 6.5. And I'm assuming what a nice little bounce there. Ivan says he wants some near. Ivan, let's just give you some near quickly. Let's take a look at this current near situation. Nice little AI play as well. Great. Oh, look at this. Okay, so near is also looking great. So what do we have for near? Why do I like this? Well, we are drifting into our rising trend. So near, your key support here, 7.7, no changes here. And you can see what's going on. I've got a nice rising trend here for you guys on near. So any moves into this trend, we're looking for a bounce. We're looking for some kind of play there, and pretty clean. If we start losing this trend, it's invalidated, and we're looking at our next big level here, 6.86. Okay, that's your next bounce zone there for near. So what you could do is you could look for a scalp long here off this area. If this rising trend is going to continue to move higher, then this is your opportunity. This is your moment now to start grabbing some kind of near position here. And your stop's going to be round about, say, 3%, give or take. And you're looking for that bounce. You can see it's pretty clear in the chart here. And what did they do? What did they do previously? They pumped us up, pushed us to trend, pumped us up, pushed up to trend, pumped us up, pushed up to trend, Are we going to bounce? Is it going to repeat? Let's see. Play that trend until it breaks. And with bullish Nvidia, well, we know what's going to happen there. With NIR, this thing is absolutely going to rip. So you don't have to worry about that one. Irene says, RWeave is running. That's an absolute banger as well. And also might have a bit of a tie-in to some of these AI tokens as well. Vens says, late, but still happy to be here. Vens, please don't be late for class, bro. We need you. We need you on time. Make sure you attend at the correct hours. Okay, I've got Ray. What's our likeage here? Can't hear you, bro. You're gonna have to sign language me. Okay, Ray is still in the hair salon. Right, let's what? I can't hear you, bro. There's no sound. There's no sound. Okay, so I've got some meme coins for you while we wait for Ray. Number one, 𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗓. Okay, little update on 𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗓. Big level at play here on 𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗓, so no changes here for me. Anything down to the 0.06 level on 𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗓 for me is a nice little buy zone. Now remember, I brought you guys this 𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗓 at about a $2 or $3 million market cap. This thing is now $71 million. There's a crazy business model here where the more you watch the 𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗓 content, the bigger the audience is, the more sponsors will pay to sponsor 𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗓, and then the more tokens get bought and burnt using the sponsorship money. So it creates a deflationary environment for 𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗓. So quite a wild business model there on 𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗓, and your massive level. If you want to take advantage of this, any dips into the 0.06 level for 𝗘𝗘𝗘𝗓 looks like a nice little buy zone. And why do I like this narrative? Well, it's 𝗘𝗘𝗙. He's going to be interviewing all these election campaigners. He's going to be interviewing people like 𝗕𝗠𝗕𝗙 Pelosi as well. Let's not forget about 𝗕𝗠𝗕𝗙. Now, I brought you this one at about a $1.4 million market cap, and now it is ripping. It's at a $5 million market cap and still looking good. So this is an election narrative play. Again, there's going to be tons of these types of characters coming out. Some of them are going to pump, some of them aren't going to work out, but you're going to have to sift around and try and find the best ones. And so far, so good with 𝗕𝗠𝗕𝗙 Pelosi. So watch her content. You can see her on Twitter as well. You can follow her and check out her content. Some well, I mean, it's not for everybody. Some funny shit coming out though, and I think she's going to be a great interviewee for 𝗘𝗘𝗙𝗙𝗓 at some point. So we'll keep our eyes on that. Let's go WIF update. No changes there. Watch your support on WIF. And I've got a banger set up here for you on Injective before we bring in Bruce for his trade. And just one more note on Injective. 2 possible zones of interest here for me.
That was my trade.
Okay, no, let's go. I'm
so with you on the Injective one.
Give it to me.
No.
Okay, give it to me.
I'm
assuming we got the likes there, Ray. Can I get a thumbs up? I can't even see Ray. He's gone. Okay,
he's putting thumbs up. Yeah, this is. Yeah, I mean, that's why you saw it. It's because it's so classic. I mean, we have on the 4 hour, we had a nice rejection of swing failure pattern there. It pumped, confirmed that was support, pumped, confirmed a new trend line over there, and then basically broke above this really well-defined resistance level. Boom, all that. Cleanly broke through it. Is coming back and retesting 50-day moving average, Fibonacci 382. This thing is just technically just ready to fly.
Are we taking this trade?
I'm taking it now. I've already taken it. I just took it.
Okay, so I'm going to take this trade on weeks right now.
Yep, literally just took it.
Okay, so you're going to give me the parameters here. Let's okay, let me show my screen here.
Yeah, let me get rid of the crap.
So what's my entry here?
Entry right about now. Anywhere in that region is just fine.
Okay, so I'm going to open a starter position here. What is my stop loss?
Stop loss is just below the 50-day moving average and just below the support level there. So I give it a little bit of room. So I get about 2.5% stop.
So what's the number there? What's the number?
I got to make it 26.5.
26.5. So I'm going to make it 26.49.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. That region.
26.45. Okay, so this is how you set a stop on weeks. You just click the little pen there, and you plug it in, and then you say confirm. Okay, so make sure you drag your dial, to 100% or whatever percent you want to cut. Okay, so I'll cut 100% if it falls over here. There we go. Confirm.
And if we lose that level, that means it's going to come back under that support level, and then you target the 618, which is down around 25.7. as your next entry. So.
Yeah, so remember with trading, guys, with leverage trading, sometimes you have to kiss a few frogs first. So you can try an area. If it doesn't work out, you know your next level. As long as you've plotted and planned your next area, as long as you know where your next zone is, then you're good. Then your next trade can be teed up there. Or you can potentially start building your position. If you want to grow a position, you track these big zones, and you can build size in those areas if you want. Not everybody wants to build a massive position and let it bleed out red. Some people like to cut it early. Other people don't mind. So, you know, it depends on your trading personality, I would say.
Exactly.
Okay, nice, Bruce. Well, thanks. Here we go. Let's see how we go with Injective. So all is well, so far so good. Guys, if you want more of this legend, okay, join him and the whole team. Okay, we've got a massive team growing in there, and we've also launched a brand new crypto fundamental section in the Sniper Club as well. We've got a gun researcher that we've got in there for you guys. It's a one-stop shop now. We've got everything for you guys. Wait till you hear what we're launching next week as well. I'll give you a clue. Memes, okay? It's all coming to Sniper Club. We're going to have everything for you guys in there. So there's a link in the description. If you want a piece of this, come and join us. Participate, hang out with Bruce in the Zooms. Me and Sheldon did a Zoom today with everyone in Sniper Club as well. Bruce, just tell them.
Just so fun. It is just, I mean, literally, whether it's memes, airdrops, sniping, we do a number of sniping sessions a week now, long-term trading. Today, in a couple hours, OG Craig and I run a session on trading psychology, which is when 90% of your profit lives. Tomorrow, we have portfolio sessions. I mean, it is just nonstop. You know, if you're serious about trading, I don't know. This is what I do.
Legend. Okay. Catch you later. Guys, Sniper Club, you know what to do. Get stuck in there. Come and see what it's all about. You're not going to leave. It's a one-stop shop for everything that you're going to need in crypto. Okay, so I'm looking at my P&Ls here, and things are definitely firing at the moment. Let's just give you one more update here on BTC before we end this session. Okay, so we've got a nice little bounce so far. So what you need to pay attention to, again, just watch your key levels now on BTC today. Remember, Nvidia is going to impact both markets, S&P and crypto. Big things coming, or, you know, big moves up or big moves down, depending on what they're going to give us. So watch BTC here. Key support, you can see this level. It's down to 69. Anything down to about 69,300, 69,400. Watch that zone as your support area, and then mark these next levels. If you do get a meltdown, mark your next levels, and remember, don't panic. You know, when we start losing levels, always understand where your next zone is, and everything is going to be okay. Just also remember, don't over leverage, trade safe, and see you guys tomorrow. ETF day. Let's see what happens then.